Texans understand a republic better than anybody else in the country.
Well, I don't know. I'm sure you know that Governor Perry has some pretty harsh words for the federal government right now.
I talked to the governor earlier today, and I don't know how popular or not popular he is here, but I tell you, his words ring true to an awful lot of people, not just in Texas, but I think a lot of people all around the country. There are movements, they've taken the original documents between James Madison and Thomas Jefferson, and in several states, I believe it's 23 now, they are passing this in the legislature, which says you don't have any more rights in the Constitution than those that are outlined, and federal government, you need to back off.
From here, Glenn, listen to Governor Perry last night, and watching your crowd and listening to things that are coming out of Texas, I don't want to be too dramatic, but it almost seems like Texas is looking to secede from the rest of the nation.
From the United States, Congressman Ron Paul thinks the idea of Texas leaving the Union should be taken seriously.
Well, recently, Texas Governor Rick Perry, who's been highly critical of President Obama's stimulus package, raised that possibility that his state may one day secede from the Union. Well, the governor isn't the only one suggesting secession isn't out of the realm. Joining me now is Texas Congressman Ron Paul.
And I think the biggest surprise to me was the outrage expressed by an individual that even thinks about along these lines, because I heard people say, well, this was treasonous and this was un-American. But don't they remember how we came into our being? We used secession. We seceded from England. So it's a very good principle. It's a principle of a free society. It's a shame we don't have it anymore. I argue that if you had the principle of secession, our federal government wouldn't be as intrusive into state affairs. And to me, that would be very good.
Fellow Texians, this is Daniel Miller, president of the Texas Nationalist Movement. I want to explain to everyone what you're beginning to see. It's exactly as we have said on this program time and time again. We have talked about the Texas independence being an inevitability, okay? It's not been one of those things where we talked about it just, hey, it's a possibility, it's a pipe dream. We said it is going to happen. And what you are seeing in the news right now is the move that direction. What you're beginning to see here is the mix-up. You're beginning to see people express their discontent with Washington, D.C. And that's the thing that we've been talking about all along, is we don't want any part of that anymore. We want to go our own way. We want to forge our own path. We want to forge a path of Texas independence.
Things could get so bad in this country, I could see certain states, Alaska, maybe Texas, wanting to secede from the Union, wanting to get out of this mess. But who knows? I mean, who knows what's going to happen as a result of this? Everybody is focusing on the European Union. Oh, is the European Union going to break up? Is it going to fall apart? What about the United States? No one talks about the fact that the United States could break up or fall apart. But you know what? Things are going to get very difficult based on what the government is doing. Times are going to get very tough for a lot of people. And who knows? Who knows what's going to happen?
Today on Texas Matters, how breaking off from the Union and bringing back the Republic of Texas is gaining strength, and a candidate for governor wants to make it a reality. The call for Texas to break off from the United States and once again become an independent nation is finding new supporters. There's a growing number of followers of people like actor Chuck Norris, who are calling for Texas independence because they're unhappy with President Barack Obama and the Democratic majority in both houses of Congress. They're also unhappy about their perception of the general loss of states' rights over the last 100 years. There's one Texan who's trying to bring about Texas independence through the ballot box. Larry Kilgore is seeking the Republican nomination for the governor of Texas.
Well, I filed for governor, and I also ran for governor in 2006, and I ran U.S. Senate in 2008. And both times I ran on the platform of Texas secession. And what that means is I want the people of Texas to have the opportunity to vote if they would rather be independent from the United States or keep the current relationship that we have with the United States.
If there was a vote to decide that, you think people in Texas would decide to sever our relationship with the United States?
I believe so. I believe people realize that basically each person is in debt to the United States at the rate of $200,000 currently, and it's going up every day. And we can't sustain a debt like that. We've had tons of our freedoms taken away. The United States mandates health care, certain types of health care upon us, mandates our education system, mandates all different kind of things upon us. And we've lost many of our freedoms that were guaranteed to us under the 9th and 10th Amendment of the Constitution.